Hi, and welcome to The Gist. Thank you so much for listening today. Each summer, we select audience favorites from the Gist archives to share with all of you. This year, we're doing a throwback to our early days with a series on the senses and their impact on our collective well-being. Not just our 5 physical senses, but also our awareness, which allows us to develop better habits of mind, feel more compassion for others, and practice grateful living. Given the degree of upheaval and hyper-partisanship around the world, there's no better time to revisit how we can think about and respond more critically to everything going on within and around us. So whether you've been with us from the beginning or are new to the gist, we hope you enjoy this summer selection. We've been exploring our sensory world through John Kabat Zinn's book, Coming to Our Senses. This week, we examine what John calls our most delicately attuned sense. Remarkably, our noses can detect even the faintest aroma with even as little as a few parts per trillion. Our sense of smell is, of course, largely dependent on our environment and the molecules that are carried by the air around us. But even more remarkably, our brains can conjure up olfactory memories as if they were real and close to the original smells that are particularly fixed in our minds. Maybe pleasant smells of comfort foods or our favorite flowers, the soil after a rain, the fresh scent of clean laundry. Equally, we might recoil at unpleasant smells that we recall from past experiences. The ability to smell has had an important evolutionary purpose. It allowed us to distinguish what's safe and what's not. Kabat Zinn says that it served a biological imperative of approach and avoidance. Based on smell, we could decipher which plants might be safe to eat. We could sense danger when we smelled certain animals. And chemicals called pheromones that are released by our bodies allow us to detect people that are known to us versus those that are not. Of course, pheromones play an important role in attraction to partners and in forming bonds with our children, who, especially as babies, know their parents through their scents. Many other animals have far superior olfactory abilities than humans. John talks about taking walks with his dog, who needs to have the freedom to explore her environment through her sense of smell. He notes how she needs to be free to wander wherever her nose carries her, but this has its own problems in a human-dominated world. As is often the case, we forget that we're but one species on this planet, and thousands of other animals, insects, and plants occupy the same space we do and are impacted by the smells in the environment. Smells and scents have a way of grabbing us, even in our busiest moments. We may be walking or driving somewhere, maybe in a rush as humans often are, and then a smell suddenly hits us. It has the power to invoke all sorts of positive or negative emotions. A foul smell may turn our stomachs or ruin our appetite. Equally, passing a neighbor's house or a restaurant with delicious smells coming our way can make our mouths water. Walking into a familiar place like a parent's or grandparent's home or a favorite trail we like to frequent can invoke joy through smells that signal a sense of comfort, safety, love, or aliveness. Like most of our senses, it's possible to become desensitized to smells. Certainly, if we spend a long time in a space, a new scent that hits us when we first encounter it fades as we become accustomed to it. As John says, the nose is a fine instrument, but it tires quickly if overwhelmed. It's hard for us even to smell the food we're eating right through an entire meal. So as with our other senses, it's easy to lose track of the rich smellscape all around us, the nuanced aromas that add to the richness of each day, smells that connect us to our environment and those in it. and to the food that nourishes not just our bodies, but our hearts and minds. So this week, we can take particular notice of the smellscape as our days unfold. Smells wafting in through an open window, maybe the flowers outside, the fresh cut grass, the soil after a heavy rain. Maybe we can hold our children a little tighter, breathing in their baby smell or their freshly washed hair. And of course, the glorious varieties of smells in our kitchens, from the first morning coffee brewing, eggs cooking at breakfast, garlic and onions and herbs mingling together on our stovetops and in the air. Being mindful about the world of scents around us is just one more way to be immersed in the moment-by-moment experience of life unfolding. It may surprise us how much we've missed and what's been right under our noses all along. Wishing you a wonderful week as you savor your aromas of life, and see you next week as we continue to explore our sensory experiences.